Black China in particular, of, taking the injections out of her face, taking the BBL out, like doing all of these things in her transformation mode. And to be honest, my take on this might be a little bit different than people would expect of me. And I'm going to explain all of that, and I'm going to tell you why. First thing I want to say, okay? First thing I want to say, if people are standing here and they believe that all of these transformations that we're seeing all over the place have nothing to do with or are nowhere closely attached to the mission that Kevin Samuels was on, you guys are bamboozled. Okay? You are just, you're not connecting the dots.
Everything I'm about to say, you already know it to be true. You are a slave. You are a slave to money, to social economics, to status, to politics, to ideology. You have sold your soul to have a place in a world order that you should naturally oppose. Whoa nah. I had to step away for a few days to handle some personal business, but now I'm back. Let me say, before I get into this topic, I'm not about to attack Reva TV. That young lady is young enough to be my daughter. I have no beef with her. I'm not about to attack her, but I'm going to use what she said to spark a conversation, right? A much needed conversation. And the conversation is really about credit. I think y'all give Kevin Samuels I don't think. I know y'all give Kevin Samuels way too much credit. Way too much credit. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna bring you through a little bit of history behind what's going on and what's really happening in the so-called manosphere. And I'm gonna show you some things that you may not be aware of, but I've been trying to make you aware of. Now, before I do that, let me check my manners. Let me welcome everybody back. Thanks to everybody that subscribed to the channel that's helping me try to get this message out, because this is a heavy message, a much needed message, you know what I'm saying? And I'm doing my best to get it out of here. I know I get passionate. I know some people don't like my delivery style and everything. I can't do nothing about that, bro. And this is part of why I'm doing this video. Y'all have been conditioned to believe that I'm your enemy. A lot of you brothers have been trained your whole life to see brothers like me as your enemy. And I know it's hard to look at me and to listen to me and to accept what I say. But if any type of man has the stones, the fortitude, the code, or whatever you want to call it, to address a problem head on, what type of man do you think is going to be? A man like me or a man like Kevin Samuels? I'm just being honest. I know he talk. I heard the little clip where he talked about men getting out there and fighting everything. Yeah, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Look at the dude's demeanor. Look at my demeanor. What type of man do you think has it in him to address problems that we face in the world, be it with society or with women? Which one of us do you think are the kind that will address this head up and deal with it? Me, my type, or the high value man type? And see, this is the problem. Y'all want to say the high value man type because that is the politically correct answer to say. But deep down, y'all all know it's not true. And I'm going to prove it to you in just a second after I give my shout outs again to everybody who's been supporting me, sticking with me. All you brothers, y'all know who y'all are. The few sisters, y'all know who y'all are. Much love, much appreciated. You know what I'm saying? Y'all are doing good work by helping me get my message out. Like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. If you've already been to my channel a few times and have not subscribed, come on, man. Come on, sister. What you waiting on? Obviously, I'm saying something that's catching your ear. Go ahead and subscribe and hit the bell icon to receive notification when I drop more videos. If you want to throw me a few bucks, Venmo at theblackalpha, Cash App at theblackalpha, PayPal at realblackalpha@gmail.com. You know, whatever you throw at me, man, it's much appreciated. You know what I'm saying? I'm not in it for money like I always tell y'all. But whatever you throw is much appreciated. Now let's get into this conversation about Reva. When what she said, y'all heard the intro and what she had to say. If you hear in the background noise, they doing work outside my house. Um, y'all heard what Reva said. She said that if you're not understanding that this girl who took the BBL out and her lip injections and all this stuff out of her face, if you're not connecting these dots to the mission that Kevin Samuels is on, then you've been bamboozled. You're not getting it, basically, is what she's saying. And the first thing I gotta say about this is that this is the problem with young people talking. And no offense to young people, but you just don't know enough of what's going on to understand what it is that you see. Because you're dealing with the now. You have no idea how we got to where we are right now. You don't know because you were not there. I was. You see, I just hit the YouTuber, Sergeant Willie Pete. I just hit him up a couple of days ago and said, man, are you the same brother that used to be on Black Planet back in the day when we was debating these topics in the early days, before all of this, when we was debating these topics with black women? And he hit me with a thumbs up and said, Black Planet, I haven't heard that in a long time. So I'm assuming he's saying that he is the same person. Well, if he's the same person, he could tell you that we've been in these discussions with black women before it got this bad. Before it got where it is today, we were already trying to stop them from getting to this point. Kevin Samuels and all them, they are Johnny come latelys, bruh. We've been talking about this. So for Reva to say that nobody challenged these women and everything like that, I gotta let you hear the rest of what she said. She said nobody challenged these women. You know, nobody talked to these women. You know, she really went in and act like Kevin Samuels was some kind of trailblazer and did something that nobody else had done before. And I hate to tell you, but that's not the case. He did not do anything that nobody had not done before. It's just not the case. But anyway, before I continue, I'm gonna let you hear Reva. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna let you hear what Reva say, and then I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna really get into the meat and potatoes of what we're dealing with here as men. Because give me a second to get to this, my brothers. Just give me a second. I'm gonna tie it all in for y'all. Just give me a second. I know I'm kind of scattered, but give me a second.
And Black China in particular, of, you know, taking the injections out of her face, you know, taking the BBL out, like doing all of these things in her transformation mode. And to be honest, my take on this might be a little bit different than people would expect of me. And I'm going to explain all of that, and I'm going to tell you why. First thing I want to say, if people are standing here and they believe that all of these transformations that we're seeing all over the place have nothing to do with or are nowhere closely attached to the mission that Kevin Samuels was on, you guys are bamboozled. Okay? You are just, you're not connecting the dots. Period. Okay? I just have to say that, and I want to say that because I genuinely know for a fact that those conversations, the women calling up, you know, even all the controversy and stuff behind that sparked so much conversation and so much change. So much. A lot of people who were living their lifestyles and were comfortable and were doing all of these things, they were in spaces, and the only reason why they never had to dig inside themselves or think a little deeper is because there was nobody around challenging their thoughts.
Nah, you heard that. It's bull. It's just not true. I'm sorry, Reva. It's just not true. It's just not true. It's just not true. We've been trying to talk to these women. In fact, I can recall as far back as 1999 when I used to hang around the conscious community before the conscious community became the conscious community. You know, that's full of feminists, you know what I'm saying? Pro-black feminists. You know, as crazy as that may sound, I'm going to actually talk about that in another video. I used to hang around these people and I used to debate with these women all day, every day about these very topics that y'all are dealing with today. They expressed their mindsets back then, and you could see the trajectory that they were on even back then. But men like me were trying to stop them from getting where they are today. We tried. We talked to them. They were being challenged. They had no answers. We were putting them on a hot seat. We were putting them in uncomfortable situations during the conversations where they couldn't even explain their own belief systems in a logical fashion. We did all of that. And no matter how much we boxed them in idealistically, they still continue to go down the path that they were going on. Because it's a choice. This got nothing to do with them being challenged. This is how they want to be because they're gods of white female feminists. That's the problem. They're leaders, they're masters of white female feminists. This has nothing to do with them being challenged. This has nothing to do with them being questioned. We were doing all of that 20, 15, 10 years before Kevin Samuels was even on the scene. We've been doing it. It didn't matter. But what happened was the strong men among us who could see that they were not going to change no matter what we told them, no matter how much we talked about how they take care of their weight, no matter how much we talked to them about the weed, which wasn't really that big of a problem in 1999. It got worse as time went on. But we've been having these conversations with them about the weave in their hair and stuff. We've been having these conversations. From the time they first started these injections, we were having these conversations with them. But the stronger men among us, we realized that we could not tell these women anything that was going to make them change. So we simply walked. We went our own way. And years later, when the white boys started experiencing the same type of intersocial breakdown, or I guess it's an intrasocial breakdown, you know what I'm saying? The intrasocial breakdown between them and their women. When they started experiencing due to feminism, they started studying how the black men dealt with that. How did the strong black men deal with this? And they took what they found and they called it MGTOW, men going their own way. See, when I did that video trying to explain to y'all that I am MGTOW, that MGTOW was created by studying men like me, y'all got mad at me because y'all don't want to give brothers like me no credit. But I'm not here for credit. I'm just not going to let y'all give credit to no metrosexual buster dude that didn't have women like Kevin Samuels. I'm not letting y'all give him credit for all of this stuff because the credit is not his. The real men have been talking to sisters for a long time. Since the 60s, since the 70s, since the 80s, we've been talking to them. These conversations didn't just start in 2010. They've been going on. But young ladies like Reva don't know because she was a kid. She wasn't born. She don't know what was happening before her. She's assuming that all of this is now because of Kevin. No. Got nothing to do with Kevin Samuels. We've been having these conversations, and once we realized that there was nothing we could tell these women that was going to make them change, we just left it alone because you can't force a person to do what you want them to do. They are their own people. So we just moved on. And we developed the ideology or the philosophy or whatever you want to call it, that finding a woman that lives and acts a certain way is more important than finding a black woman that lives and acts a certain way. We removed the race out of it. We removed the barrier of racial restrictions and limitations. We removed that. And we decided that we was going to deal with whatever woman or whichever woman that we meet that is more to our liking, regardless of our race. That's MGTOW, people. That's where the white boys got it from. But when I tried to tell y'all in another video that the white boys got nowhere to go, y'all got mad at me. See, I've been dropping these seeds on y'all, trying to tell y'all that they got nowhere to go. Look at this here. This is one of them. When I try to tell you that the white boys don't have no options, that MGTOW only works for black men. That's why they studied us. It only works for us. They don't have nowhere they can go. See, MGTOW for us equal options. MGTOW for them equals loneliness, incel, a life as an incel, because they don't have the options that we have. I explained all that in the early video, man, but y'all got mad at me again. Y'all don't be wanting to hear the truth, bro, from a real man. You know, and this is the problem, man. You know, y'all want to get busters like Kevin Samuels. You know, I ain't trying to hate on a dude. You know, I know everything you say, oh, you just hate me. No, I'm not hating, man. I wouldn't trade my life for Kevin Samuels' life for nothing in the world, bro. You know, y'all not talking to a dude that don't have no life experience, man. I don't care how much money he made in the end. I had money before, too. That's the thing y'all understand, bro. I've balled out myself, you know what I'm saying? And had it, lost it, had it, lost. I mean, it don't make me. In between the entire time, whether I had it or didn't have it, I was still cush. I was still meeting women. I was still dating pretty girls. My life experiences were still the same. So I wouldn't trade my life for that dude life for nothing in the world, man. Y'all got it twisted. I don't envy that dude. I'm not jealous of that dude, man, in no way, shape, or form. Y'all got it twisted, bro. That dude had nothing. He had not one characteristic that I would want. You know what I'm saying? He had not one behavior that I would want. There was nothing about that dude that I wanted. Nothing. I mean, nothing, bro. So my point to all this is that, man, Reva got to be careful with giving these dudes too much credit for things that they didn't do. Because the truth of the matter is, we've been in these conversations. We've been having these talks with black women. I mean, like I said, I can personally go back to 1999 and talk about the talks I was having with black women as they was going down this feminist path. I remember when black feminism co-opted, so to speak, or usurped the pro-black African type colors. And you had all the black lesbians around here wearing yellow, green, and black, everything, beads. They had clothes, belts, purses, you know what I'm saying? I mean, and so many of them had dreadlocks at the time. You serious biz, but back then, you didn't know if you was looking at a lesbian or pro-black sister. It got confusing to the point where me, Brother Kush, started asking the sisters in the early conscious community, why are y'all allowing black lesbians to co-opt or usurp or steal y'all colors? These colors used to represent something in the black woman, and y'all are letting the lesbians take it over, and you're not saying nothing. Why? Because they see them as still sisters. And we would talk to them back to try to get them to understand that this is different though. These people don't represent you. But they chose to align themselves with that. The black women did. They did. I remember back in around that same time, it's like lesbianism had become a virus. I mean, every young teenage black girl you seen was a dyke. I had to cut out that D word, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't want no problems. I'm not trying to be disrespectful to nobody, but I'm just talking. But anyway, every young black teenage girl was a lesbian. And I remember telling my wives back then, that's when I had my polygynous family. I remember saying that them girls are not gay. They confused. This is being shoved down their throats. So to say that we wasn't talking to them and challenging them and trying to get to them is just not true. We was. We just couldn't do it. So we went about our business. That's what happened. Now, as far as this young lady who just recently done this rapper girl, Black China, I don't really know nothing about her. But let me say this here. To think that girl did something based on Kevin Samuels, you crazy. That girl probably don't know who Kevin Samuels is. The young lady went through some kind of spiritual conversion where she realized that her life had hit a dead end. Because that's what happens. You also mature, people. See, Reva's too young to understand that sometimes you grow out of certain phases. You know, when you look back at your life, how you were in your 20s, you're not going to be that way in your 30s, in your late 30s, or going into your 40s, or in your 40s. You're not going to be the same. This is why I'm telling y'all, brothers, don't listen to dudes like Coach Greg Adams with this bullshit talking about there's no such thing as a midlife crisis. Man, look, don't listen to these dudes. You will not be able to live like your 20s while you're in your 40s. You're not going to be able to do it. It's not going to be the same. If you don't play according to your age at that moment, you will miss that stage. And that's just the harsh reality. You will miss that stage. You're not going to get that back. You can't rewind that. Oh man, a man can still do this. No, bro, a man can't. A man can't. First of all, you shouldn't want to. You shouldn't want to act 20 in your 40s. You shouldn't want to. You should be mentally above that stage. You're damn sure gonna be physically out that stage. You should be mentally out of that stage. So, not understanding that this girl may have just grown out of it, or she might be a victim of the law of diminishing returns at this moment. At this moment, she might be realizing that she's gotten all she's going to get out of that world that she was running in, that there's nothing else out there for her. She's going as high in that world as she can. I mean, didn't that porn star Pinky do the same thing? Didn't she not go over there with Brother Ben X and all these dudes in the Nation of Islam and get on a podcast and they call her Sister Sarah and all this shit? The crazy thing is them niggas wouldn't respect me. They wouldn't respect me, but this chick did all the shit she did, and at the end of the line, she can come out and be holy again. Now she's a nun, you know what I'm saying? But brothers like me, who don't have all that dirt on them like that, you know what I'm saying? I mean, they would never like a brother like me. And this is the problem we have in our community, man. But you know what? I'm not going to fret on that, but that's on y'all, bro. Allah put this on my heart to come talk to y'all, bro. I'm going to do my part. I'm going to talk to my brothers. I'm going to let my sisters get a collateral message out of it. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking to the men, but I'm going to let the sisters get a collateral message out of it. You know, because if you wise, like I know one of my sisters are, she's a very intelligent sister. She understands that these messages go both ways. So I'm going to let her do her part. She's going to talk to the females. I'm going to talk to the men. You know, and I'm going to just keep it at that. I'm not going to argue with y'all. I'm not going to be mad that y'all just don't want to accept the facts, because I know what it's about, bro. The truth of the matter is, you know what I'm saying, men like me don't be jealous of high value men. High value men are jealous of men like me. And y'all know that. We live the lives that they wish they could live. We live the lives broke that they need money to live. We have the experiences broke that they need money and fame to have. And this is why we have this civil war, so to speak, between us. But we shouldn't, brothers, because you are not my enemy. I'm damn sure not your enemy. That's real talk. I am here for all of y'all. I am here to help y'all. I am here to bring y'all up a level. And I'm using what Reva said. Like I said, this is a shout out to the sister. I'm not bashing the sister. She's young. She don't know any better. I'm just clearing the airwaves. She's wrong. You cannot give Kevin Samuels for none of this stuff, because that dude admitted openly that he was only in this for money. He admitted openly that he approached YouTube from a business perspective. The dude was an image consultant, which means he specialized in faking a look. He specialized in projecting a perception, an image of something that you may not be. This is what he did, people. This is what he did, and he did it well. I mean, props to Kevin. He was masterful at what he do. Dude was good, but he was not real. He was not the originator of MGTOW. He was not the reason why y'all have a manosphere and a red pill right now. Men like me are. And if y'all listen to me, y'all would understand why I don't sit here and argue with these women, man. I would never do that, bro. Because first of all, I respect their individuality. I mean, if they got a right to be however they want to be. Y'all problem is that y'all want to force certain women to be what you want them to be, and you ain't gonna never do that. So since you ain't gonna never do that, and you know you're not gonna ever be able to do that, you use that reality as just an excuse to sit here and waddle in misery and hatred and despair. That is no place to live, my brother. Get out of that. Get out of that. Broaden your concepts, man. I'm gonna leave it at that. Look, I'm gonna close out now. You know, again, like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon, see notifications when I drop more videos. If you wanna shoot me a few bones, Patreon at the Black Alpha. I mean, not Patreon. Patreon is coming still. I know I keep saying it, but I am working on it. I'm a one-man army. I'm working on it. Venmo at the Black Alpha, cashapp at the Black Alpha, and PayPal at the realblackalpha@gmail.com. My brothers, my sisters, understand. Stop giving the fake dudes credit for what the real dudes do. Stop giving the sub-betas credit for what the alphas and betas do, for the sacrifices of the alpha and the betas. The alpha and the betas are the men that get out there. Like I said, y'all hate me, sisters, but if you out there getting mugged or something, what kind of man do you think is going to come to your aid? A man like me or a man like Kevin Samuels? I'm going to let you think about that. Till next time, Brother Kush, a.k.a. the Black Alpha. Salam.